Knicks win game 4, 114-98, and they survive the win or die situation. Their whole season, their whole franchise, their whole build was on the line today. They knew what they were up against, and they understood the assignment. There was no smiles. There was no handshakes. There was no goofing around. There were some moments which were a little uneasy in the first half, but the Knicks responded, and on the shoulders of Karl Anthony Towns with a triple-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Karl Anthony Towns was the number one option tonight. Jalen Brunson did not have it going. He had 5 turnovers in the first half. He was struggling with Dyson Daniels, struggling with Gabe Vincent, but Cat running actions, getting aggressive, even though he had some dicey moments in the second quarter, he was just super efficient. Again, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. OG Anunoby, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Josh Hart, tremendous defense on CJ McCollum. He started the series on Jalen Johnson, and now Josh Hart, I tip the cap. You are my favorite Knick. Right now, my allegiance is to winning. And this game was all about the message from Knicks fans to the Knicks. We have been giving you everything we've got for our entire lives. I told you on Spaces earlier today, I'm tired of putting my foot forward in the battle, getting into the battle, drawing scars, drawing blood, breaking bones, breaking my heart, and then I'll look back and you're still there at the starting line. I needed the Knicks to show me that they were serious and they were focused today, and that they could get out of hell, out of Atlanta, tied 2-2. And I told you from the beginning of the week when we blew that game 2, nothing is sweet about going on the road after you lose a game like you did in game 2. You knew it was, if you're a seasoned sports fan, you knew it was going to be a dogfight in Atlanta. And I told you, you can get greedy if you want. I'd be happy if we got out of Atlanta tied 2-2 because it washes away game 2. We're back in a 3-game series, best 2 out of 3. Game 5 will be on Tuesday night at Madison Square Garden, 8 p.m., locked into your Knicks. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. We just came off of a 3-hour stream giving you the entire game and giving the Knicks fans the new slogan. It's win or die. You got to love it that much. You got to want it that much. Enough of the vibes. I had Ronnie Feig of Kith tell me this team plays best when its back's against the wall. Great. And when nobody believes in them. Great. So I'm going to do my part. I'm not kissing their ass anymore. I'm not running around the streets talking shit into the camera. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing Knicks in this anymore. We're doing let's go Knicks. We're doing defense. We're going back to basics. Ganar or morir. Win or die. Enough. Enough of the ass kissing. We don't need that. Shout out to everybody in the room, man. 93 people in the room. And shout out to everybody on the replay on Sunday. Hope you guys are doing well. Going through my notes, man. Just going into this game, I was nervous, man. I've seen 2013. I've seen Indiana Pacers take us into their building after we lost home court, and we never stood a chance for the rest of that series. Fake Game 5 wins. I've seen the fake Game 5 win against Miami. I've seen the fake Game 5 win against Indiana last year in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then getting buried in Game 6. And I'm telling you right now, if the Knicks didn't win tonight, they were dead. The Nova thing would have been dead. The Cat thing would have been interesting. The McHale thing would have been interesting. Mike Brown would have been toast. Leon Rose would have been on Front Street. I would have been looking at the draft. And that's what we were up against tonight. Like, we weren't just fighting to win the game. We were fighting to validate this whole season. And then you look around at the rest of the league and you're like, the Magic are down the Pistons are down 2-1. The Celtics are struggling with the Sixers. The Cavs are struggling with the Raptors. The Eastern Conference is, if you thought the Eastern Conference was wide open at the start of the season, it is even more wide open. And I'm thinking to myself, the Knicks are down 2-1. And I'm like, dude, you are losing out on the opportunity of a lifetime. And I don't even know if we're alive in this opportunity right now. So they go into the game and they really needed a reality check. It wasn't just, hey, let's take care of business and let's do what we do. No, they needed effort and execution on the highest level. And you knew the Atlanta Hawks were going to be in their way. And this Atlanta Hawks team had all the confidence in the world coming into this game. And early on in this first quarter, it was Nickeil Alexander-Walker, C.J. McCollum, and others who were throwing haymaker for haymaker. Knicks way more organized on offense. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns immediately running actions together. OG Anunoby attacking. Josh Hart attacking. Even Mikal Bridges attacking. And everyone connected, but Atlanta was right there. Atlanta was right there. And I felt the biggest move of the game to start the game, the biggest chess move to start today's game, was Mike Brown going full hockey sub. We'll call Josh Hart the Swiss Army knife. He kind of played in both. Units, but he took out Brunson, Mikal, Cat, and OG, and he put in Alvarado, Deuce, Clarkson, and Mitch, and played him with Josh. And I was nervous as all hell because the Knicks built a 6-point lead, and there was 6 minutes left on the quarter. And Brunson has never left the first quarter in all these games. Pretty much the first 86 games of the season, he's pretty much, unless it's foul trouble, he's pretty much played the entire first quarter. And Mike Brown said, I'm getting fresh legs on there. We're going to compete with their athleticism by getting up into the body. Alvarado, Clarkson was just tremendous effort. Amazing what he's done for the Knicks in this season, fixing his whole brand of basketball. And McBride and Mitch and Hart. And it wasn't pretty to start, man. The Hawks hit a 3. I'm thinking that we're going to blow this lead. And the Knicks got through some energy. And I thought Alvarado going at it underneath the basket with Mohamed Gay, I thought that was huge because that gave the Knicks a tech. And it just was like, it was a message to the rest of the team. Like, no shorts will be taken today. We are not letting you get fired up. We're dictating the terms. And I thought, just even from a rotation standpoint, even though I'm not in love with the unit, I'll be honest, I'm not in love with it. But hey, man, if Mikal can't do it for you, then you're going to have to rely on multiple ball handlers off the bench. It is what it is. So I thought that the Knicks did a good job of dictating the terms. Even Mikal, I want to shout out Mikal Bridges real quick. No handshakes before the game. I didn't see any of this. I didn't see any of that nonsense before the game, bro. I don't even know what I just did. But I'm tired of seeing that. Usually he's like doing all his handshakes and then he does this before the game. Like, enough smiling. You were fighting back tears. Shout out to Christian Winfield. I know that the Knicks organization and their PR, they sent out the flash flood warning. They sent out the warning. Hey, CAA says to calm that down. Don't say Mikal was crying. I know Christian Winfield probably said what he had to say. I know Steve Bondi probably bullied him off his block and made him take down the tweets and recant the stories. They did the same thing today with Mike Brown with his quote about saying, I'm not saying they're going to win it. You know, they just did full-on damage control in the Knicks organization. And I hope, for some reason, I don't know why, but I hope that they just finally get it in their heads, which is in their ass half the time, that good basketball and being real about your goals and facing consequences about your goals and not celebrating this Mike Breen nonsense of, for a long time, the Knicks weren't in the playoffs. For a long time before this game, I'm thinking the Knicks are going to get bounced out of the playoffs by going all in with their money and all in with their draft picks and all in with their mouth, talking about we're singularly focused. We don't want to hang a banner. Hopefully this Knicks franchise stops looking at the glory of non-achievements and looking at the safety net of being like, oh, we're good. No, enough of the vibes. Play ball. Enough of the vibes. Play ball, man. Be serious, man. Run good actions. Enough giving it to somebody because their last name is this or their best friend is that. Mikal Bridges didn't play in the second half. He played 4 minutes and 16 seconds in the second half. Basketball comes before vibes. Second quarter, the Knicks and the Hawks were in a defensive struggle. Felt like the score was stuck on 41-31 forever. I thought that Josh Hart was tremendous in that second quarter, getting steals, deflections off CJ McCollum. Another tech in this game that I loved I believe it was in the fourth quarter. Josh Hart got a tech, or it might have been in the third. Loved it. Really loved his attitude today. He was on assignment, aside from a stupid fadeaway three he took with nobody on him. Even his three he missed in the second half was much better than that three. Just wanted to be confident. I loved his aggression on CJ McCollum. He was in his business all game. And then Josh hits a three to put us up 16 at the end of that half. And then there was these series of possessions that really bothered me at the end of the first half where Mikal was guarding CJ. And Mikal was having a decent game up until this point, but it really went all downhill for Mikal at the end of the first half, mainly because he started to get the yips again. He just has no ability in traffic and in the trenches to do anything. He always loses the ball. He never does anything underneath the basket when it's not in motion. And he loses the ball. There was a sideline out of bounds play where he had a handoff and Brunson was face guarded and he turned and he just lost the ball out of bounds. And then McCollum, everybody's like, why don't you put Mikal on McCollum? Why don't you put Mikal on McCollum? Mikal was on McCollum. He let McCollum go right every single time. McCollum diced him up. Cut the lead of 14. I didn't like those possessions at the end. Knicks came out in the second half. And before I get there, let me just make sure that I got this thing charged. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. I'm going to get to your chats. If you want to send a super chat and get it read on the screen, definitely you can do that. Shout out to all 200 people in here right now, whether you're on X or whether you're on YouTube. How fired up are you, man? Leave us a comment. If you're on the replay for tomorrow, man, leave us a comment, man. Make yourself known, and I will shout you out. Obviously, we're gonna give a lot of love to Karl Anthony Towns, but let's get through this game. We get to the second half, right? And Knicks are up 14, and you knew that the Hawks were going to come out with a fight because this is their game to get. Nickeil Alexander-Walker runs a two-man with a Kungwu. He gets a free throw. Hawks hit a three. Nickeil Alexander-Walker out of the corner. Jalen Brunson loses the ball, and this was the turning point in the second half for me. Jalen Brunson loses the ball on the ground. It's a jump ball. Brunson loses the jump ball. He walks off the floor. Knicks are up 8 points or 7 points. And he goes into the locker room and checks himself for a sprained ankle. If you watch sports for a long time and you're a heartless, jackass who lives on a couch and looks at athletes who put themselves in prime position, sacrifice their body while you eat chips all day like myself, you know a fake injury when you see it. That was a fake injury that Jalen Brunson had. He walked off. He got a little tape up. He knew he was playing like dog shit. And he got himself out of the game. Let's just call it for what it is. And Alvarado comes in the game, and I'll tell you what, as far as Alvarado replacing Brunson, that's on face value, that sounds awful. I was the least bit concerned when Brunson left that game. I was like, you know what? At least we're going to get the ball in the hands of actual people with mismatches, because Brunson does not have a mismatch. He literally reminds me of A.J. Brown on the Eagles when they do shadow coverage and they put the number one corner on him, and it allows other people like Saquon Barkley or Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert or Josh Dotson. Is it Jahan Dotson? I don't know. Is it Josh Dotson? I don't know. But it's like, dude, you're getting bracketed, so you're attracting all this energy. That allows the rest of the team to get wide open. You know what I'm saying? That allows the rest of the team to get wide open. So don't try to force it and get points. We don't need you to score. We need the ball in Karl Anthony Towns' hands. So McHale was out of the game. Brunson was out of the game. And Alvarado hits a huge three to put the Knicks back up 13. I thought it was a psychological thing. You jump into the quarter up 14, keep the lead at 14. Take the game in chunks. And I thought the Knicks did a tremendous job today of really winning the games in sections of the game. Whatever buttons they pushed, they really did take this game possession by possession. Mike Brown was really good with the timeouts when he needed to. And Karl Anthony Towns, a big turnaround in this game, I felt. Okongwu had 3 fouls. Knicks were up 13. We were on a little run. And then Cat drives at Okongwu's hip and gets the foul on Okongwu, 4 fouls. Then later on in the quarter, Clarkson drew the 4th foul on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We're not going to be that fortunate with the foul trouble. But, hey, those are thin-framed dudes. They don't got a lot of muscle. We got to go attack that. Brunson on Daniels, that's not good for us. We got to be humble with that. We got to understand that's a slow process that's never going to result in a good shot. Hands are up. I admit it. I try to, be a jerk about it. I try to be a troll about it to Hawks Twitter and whatnot. Y'all got it. Shout out to Edge. Shout out to Billy. Y'all got it. Daniels locking down Brunson. Y'all got it. We don't need him. We don't need him because they have nobody on their – they guard him with Kuminga. They guard Cat with Kuminga. They guard him with Okongwu. They guard him with Gay. They guard him with whomever. Daniels, they cannot guard Cat. So Cat was super aggressive. Then Brunson gets back into the action, and that's when they started running these actions with Cat on the wing, OG on the baseline, cutting baseline, Brunson coming up for the handoff, and then it allowed OG to get open for these backdoor slams. OG had 22 and 10 if you're just joining us. 4th quarter, Knicks are up 21. They didn't allow the runs. I thought that they did a good job of getting to that 10-minute mark, up by 23. McBride hitting a bunch of big threes. Getting to the 8-minute mark, up 21. Not letting the Hawks, who had a couple runs. Jalen Johnson hit a 3 to cut the lead of 14, I believe. And Mike Brown called a good timeout. And then the Knicks, ran good offense. And they did their job. And they closed this one out. And before they did that, I want to mention in the 4th quarter, there was an interesting moment. I don't know why this is happening with the stream. Let me check the stream. See if you guys are seeing something. All right. Looks pretty good. All right. Mike Brown, Rick Brunson, man. Rick Brunson going at Jalen Brunson. That was incredible. Let me see if I can find that. Here it is. I'm going to show you guys. This was amazing. Look at this. Hold on. Let me bring it up here.
Back and move father-son back and forth here.
Okay. Oh, no, not that. Let's remove that. Let's go here. Sorry about this. Here we go. This is Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson after a challenge. Jalen Brunson going at it with his pops. And let's see if we got any lip readers in the chat. What did he say right here?
Back and move father-son back and forth here. So this is back-to-back nights. We have father-son on the same.
What do you think Rick Brunson was saying there? Let's take another look again. Rick Brunson, former Knick, father of Jalen. Look at Mikhail. Like, oh shit, someone not yelling at me. Okay, what's this? Even Kolik's looking at it.
Back and father-son back and forth here. So this is back-to-back nights. We have father-son on the same NBA team.
It's like everybody's separate from that, man. Yeah, man. There's some good Mike Brown post-game clips. We'll get to that. But I thought this was a big moment for the Knicks and Jalen Brunson, because it's like, hold this dude accountable, man. Hold this dude accountable. I don't know what Jalen Brunson's full stats were tonight. I'll get them to you in a second. But he was terrible, man. He turned the ball over. Like, it was way too easy to get the ball out of Brunson's hands tonight. I can't think of. So Claudio says, give him or pass him the ball. Yeah, there was like, he would come up the court and there would be like a guy like in the slot come get the ball in the wing, and like Brunson would just hold it. And then he would get pressured and he would turn the ball over, just get rid of it. I got the MSG in front of me right now with the post game. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then we sent a message, man. Knicks fans in the building. Let's get a little bit of Cat and OG here.
Playoffs is always, you win a game, you're the best team in the world, eyes to eyes, and when you lose, you're a little the worst team ever. So just staying on the way, being in that middle ground, and just consistently trying to find ways to get better and improve as a series goes along. Next game is going to be the most important game, the most desperation we need to present.
All right. Well, basically what they admitted there is that they didn't take this shit serious enough. And now they understand what they're in. They're in a war. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get too much into that, but if you guys have a clip that you want to send my way, let me know on X, and I will pull the clip up myself. But I thought the Knicks fans were great out there in the building. I can't wait to see all the videos of the Knicks fans out there. And then I'll give you guys the statistics for today's game. Hold on one second. Let's take this out, and I'll give you guys the stats for today's game. 22 minutes into the stream. Here we go. So we have, sorry about that. Let's go to the box score. Okay, Anunoby, sorry about this.
First one.
Anunoby, 40 minutes, 22 points, 3 of 6 from the field for 3, 9 of 16 from the field overall, 10 boards. Cat, 20 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 10 boards, 10 assists, triple-double, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. Josh Hart, I thought was tremendous, 31 minutes, 10 points, 9 boards, 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. He had a couple shots at the end of possessions where I felt like try to bail us out. He had a crazy shot where he like looked like he was a quarterback throwing it off his back foot from 3-point line. I loved his energy tonight. He was great. You could argue he was one of the most efficient players, not efficient, but integral players to the Knicks actually winning this game. Mikhail, he had a good first quarter. He was terrible the rest of the game. 19 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 boards. Again, getting the yips at the end of that half. I did not like his involvement, man. He had a good fast court steal. Oh, Mikhail also had a moment where he got brought to the ground by Dyson Daniels, and he told him to F off 3 times. So that was cool. Brunson, 34 minutes, 19 points, 7 of 18 from the field, 3 assists, 6 turnovers. Terrible, bro. And then there's a couple guys who played like at the end of the game, but I'm not going to let you know their stats. Mitch, 15 minutes again. Not a Mitch series, bro. It just isn't. People are calling for Mitch to play. You can't play Mitch and Cat together because this team will just run you off the floor. 6 points, 2 or 3 from the field. I thought he did a good job on the glass. 8 boards. And he was impactful in his minutes. But Cat does the job just fine. Clarkson, 21 minutes, 7 points. I thought he was good. His defense is good, especially with that second unit. The hockey subs, his energy was great. Alvarado, good energy tonight. 14 minutes, 6 points. Hit a big three to go up 13. Also, I thought his tactical that he drew on Muhammad Gay was great. 3 steals. Oh, he had that big steal. He had that little steal on CJ McCollum in that third quarter when it looked like the Hawks were about to go on a run. Big steal by Alvarado. Then Miles McBride, 23 minutes, 11 points. 4-7 from the field, a bunch of threes that kind of kept the distance for the Knicks. For the Hawks, they ran all their offense through McCollum. It feels like Jalen Johnson was terrible, man. 14 points, 4-12 from the field. Alexander Walker looked like he was about to have a good game, but he didn't. So shout out to the Knicks for attacking him, getting him in foul trouble. Kuminga also terrible tonight. 10 points, 3 of 10 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. Let's get some team stats up there. Knicks.
The world is huge.
Knicks shooting 49% from the field, 14 of 31 from 3. Hawks 10 of 41 from 3. Offensive rebounds tied at 12, and the Knicks win the rebounding battle 31 to 26. Assists, we got Knicks with 23, Hawks with 20. Steals, Knicks 9 to 8. The turnover battle, Hawks with 19 turnovers, Knicks with 15. Blocks, Hawks got 5 blocks, Knicks got 3. Fast break points, Knicks had 8 points in fast break, 7 for the Hawks. 50 points in the paint for the Knicks, 44 for the Hawks. 23-21 in the foul department. There's people on the timeline talking about how the officiating was terrible from the Hawks standpoint. That's a sign of a loser that doesn't know ball when they start blaming refs, especially in a 21-point game. You cannot blame refs in a 21-point game. That's crazy. That just shows you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And the Knicks led this game pretty much wire to wire. 94% of this game, they led the game. Again, it was close in the beginning, and then it kind of slowed down. So I'm going to go scour around the timeline. But before I do that, let's read these comments. This got to be legend says Cat carried the Knicks tonight. This is John saying, yo, what time we start? We right now. This is D saying, let's go Knicks. This has got to be legend saying, I've been saying for months, play through Cat, let him make decisions. J. Mars saying, yes, fire, let's go. Pastor Claudio says the first time the Knicks spanned the same action multiple times in a game. Yeah, I felt like that action with Brunson, OG, and Cat. I mean, those are our 3 best players on offense. So why not use them? You know, if you got, I'll keep using the Eagles analogy. You got Jalen Hurts, you got Barkley, you got AJ Brown. Make a team commit. Kim says, I think that's Kim says, let's go. This is SG Knicks boy says that OG and Cat duo is crazy, man. They have to play Jalen off ball. It opens the floor for everyone, including Brunson. Yeah, I don't know why they don't. Sal says Hawks just had a bad shooting night. We weren't that good. I disagree. You and me both, brother. Ganar o morir. I wanted to say earlier I disagree with Ari. I thought the Knicks defense was good, intense. It dictated the terms. It slowed the Hawks down from getting a lot of easy transition buckets. Still not done. Got to stay hungry. It's do or die, even at home. I agree. I think that the Knicks did a good job of defending at the point of attack. Sans Mikal Bridges. This game won't matter much if they don't show up at MSG. This has got to be legend. He says Cats saved all their asses. John says hundreds and the blue and orange. D says hit that thumbs up for your boy. This is Raj. He says thank you, Cat. Left. There's some good Mike Brown postgame clips. I'm going to definitely get to that. Right now it's 9:48. I'm about to be out of here soon. Bankai says I disagree about the Brunson thing. He tweaked his ankle. Then in the same play had Dyson Daniels land on his foot. I think if Brunson was playing better, he would have walked that off. Let's just put it like that. He actually coached his ass off tonight. That's Mike Brown. Give him or pass the ball. And then SG Knicks boy says, going into it, it was a matchup problem for Brunson offensively. Whole Hawks team is long wing defenders. The only player type he really struggles with. I think if you have like one of them or two, he can handle it, or you know what I mean? But like when you have multiple and he's switching on to bad guys, bad matchups for him, it's like, dude, you're holding the ball forever. you serve more of a purpose by bringing one of their defenders away from the ball than you do being on the ball. This is Deji says he agrees. And then Kid Nezar says, Kid Nez, I think Brunson had to go take a shit. It's possible. It's possible. I had to take one before the game, not to get into poop talk. Okay. But yeah, let me check out New York basketball. Usually has some good stuff for you guys online. Before we dip out of here, we will be back tomorrow with the post game being posted probably like 8 in the morning, so you can get a replay of this. And the Knicks are eating wings in the locker room, so I'll show you all this stuff. Let me get the bookmarks. Bookmark. Let's go bookmark. I'll show you all New York basketball stuff. Bookmarked it. Bookmark this. Actually, you know what? I can just do it like this. You guys don't need to see my bookmarks. Here we go. Let's take a look at the Knicks. Let's take out the Knicks on New York basketball. Let's take a look at what they did. Why are you walking like that?
Big Pimp. Big Pimp in ATL,
Yeah. That's a guy who saved the Knicks season. Here's the Knicks eating wings.
What? Yo. What?
All right. This is Cat and OG talking about the Gatorade.
And
We don't got another Gatorade for him? Gatorade 5, bro. My bad.
Carl,
What's your favorite flavor of Gatorade? Back in the day, that Purple Rush was crazy. I don't feel like they have that anymore. That was crazy back in the day. Here we go.
Did you kind of feel that today? As played with a different physicality right from the start, just on both ends of the floor. What did you see from the team? And Deuce had said yesterday about backs to the wall kind of stuff. Did you kind of feel that today?
This Gatorade is still good as hell.
As played with a different physicality right from the start,
Yo.
just on both ends of the floor. What did you see from the team? And Deuce had said yesterday about backs to the wall kind of stuff.
Here's Mike Brown. Here we go.
From the bat, just we're going to go through Cat.
This is Mike Brown speaking on playing through Karl Anthony Towns. Take a listen.
Hey, Mike, was a plan like from the bat, just we're going to go through Cat? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steph.
We're going to go through Cat? Or was it seeing what they were doing with Jalen and doubling him and stuff like that? Like, why that adjustment? Where did that come from?
So we just switched our early offense up. And with us switching our early offense up the way we did, it happened to fall into his hands quite a bit, So, I'll explain to you off the record one of these times, but like we didn't, our early offense is still equal opportunity.
He doesn't want to give away. He's not trying to give away anything. That's pretty much it.
A lot of conversation about whether or not you want to talk. They can't hear you. Two guys. They're obviously.
This is Josh Hart apparently with a message for Knicks fans.
There was a lot of conversation about whether or not you want to talk. They can't hear you. Just say, what do you have?
Guys.
Okay, all right, well.
Come support Game 5.
Definitely do that. Anyway, the mood is joyous.
I thought he was going to do something crazy there. All right, let's get Cat's post game with Amazon or NBC, I should say.
How do you replicate this urgency and desperation, even with this series tied, as you head back to New York?
I mean, there's no explanation needed. This is playoff basketball, and we get to go home to the best fans in basketball. So, we understand the moment. We've been here from last year. We've been in this moment. But like I said, it's not about just meeting the moment. We got to exceed it.
Yeah, those fans were here in Atlanta too, by the way. I don't know if you heard them.
Our fans they travel worldwide. So shout out to the Knicks fans that make these trips and show their love and support, even if they're not here. But we can feel their energy around the world.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Mike.
All right, Tor. Thank you.
I'll take a look at some Cat highlights.
14-98. Game 5 of this series coming up on Tuesday night on NBC. We'll come back to Atlanta right after this.
That's pretty cool. And I think we're all right. Yeah, I think we're good with that. Okay. Got a super chat that just came in. The fierce flavors for fire. Was that like the cherry joint? I don't know. I'm getting a little feedback right now on the or a little glitch on the stream. I think my computer is like, dude, leave me alone. So we're gonna get out of here. Great win. See you in NY. Get well soon, Dante. Yeah, I heard Dante DiVincenzo tore his Achilles. Let me double check to see if that's actually true. It says suffers lower leg injury. All right, so I got the wrong DM. You guys are crazy. Although I'm tired of giving him the benefit of the doubt, I don't know what it was going to be. Shout out to Jamaica Life 876, Knicks team. Everybody eats. Absolutely. Early visuals, see it popping. Check out the box here. How do I get this? This chat. That Cash App. Shout out to the Cash App, man. Hit the subscribe button. This is your Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the rest of my videos on the channel as well. We will be back throughout the week to discuss Game 5. The season is not over. We are out of the coma. We are Tupac ripping the plugs and ripping the IVs out of our bodies. And we're walking out of here alive. Knicks are tied 2-2. Check out the live stream from Game 4.